Hi, I'm Bill Vales, and I'm here for another edition of Your Backyard. And I'm at Oak Hill right now, and I'm here with Marie Elwyn.
Hi, Bill.
Marie,
how are you today?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Marie is a student of mycology, which is
the study of mushrooms.
The study of mushrooms, and Oak Hill seemed like a good place to check out to see mushrooms because there is some dampness here in spots of Oak Hill.
And a little elevation.
A little elevation in some spots, but there's also a little depth in Tophet's Chasm and wet and swampy, so it may be interesting. So we're at the end of the day, so it's getting darker, but we're going to do what we can do.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
So just starting in towards Tophet's Chasm, we ran across this little fellow.
Yeah. Again, it's a yellow, sort of a yellow mushroom. Has gills.
Okay, has gills.
Has gills. Something's been eating at it. We don't know what.
Okay, I see some bugs in here.
Yeah.
Now, I should back up for a second and say that we did our first show over at Prouty.
Yes.
Earlier today, and we provided in that show, or you provided in that show, a bunch of introductory information about mushrooms. So it may make sense to watch these shows in a pair,
right,
if you will.
Yeah.
So this has gills, which I learned
Yep.
from you, as opposed to pores.
Right.
Okay, so that's one way to segregate different types of mushrooms.
Yep.
And you performed a test on this called your
It's a lactarius.
Your
Yeah.
test to see if it's a lactarius mushroom,
Right.
which means it has some milky substance
Yes.
in it.
And there are different colors of the milk too. White, clear, brown, blue.
Okay, and if a mushroom is very dry, you may not
See anything.
see anything,
Yeah, no
but it
juice.
still may be a lactarian
Right.
mushroom.
Yes.
So go through your test on this again.
Well, this one I noticed has a very interesting smell. To me, it smells like a raw potato.
It does smell like a raw potato. Now notice I'm not eating this, and I want to caution the audience that you should not eat mushrooms unless you're an expert and know what you're doing. But I'll smell this without touching
You
it.
can smell it, and you can handle any mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
You can touch any mushroom. The poison, if there's any poison, isn't going to be touched, absorbed. It would have to be eaten, which we're not going to do. But something loves this. Can you see something's been eating it?
I can see that it's been eaten.
And that is not necessarily an indicator that it is able to be consumed. Just because animals eat it doesn't mean it's good for humans.
Right, we have different
So,
physiology
right.
and...
And who knows, maybe something ate this and has gone off and has died somewhere. We don't know. We
True.
don't know.
True. Now, we have another mushroom down there. It has a beautiful, from a distance in this light, it looks almost lime green, but as I get closer to it, it looks has a little yellowish.
Yes, a very lemony yellow.
Yeah, lemon
yeah.
yellow texture to it.
And there are certain mushrooms that will glow in the dark. They'll have a glow sort of like, you can't look at it and see it glow, but if you look off to the side of it, you can see it has a light coming out of it.
Yeah.
And if they are big enough and enough of them, you will be able to look at them and see that they're glowing.
I see. And what do you term that? Is that considered...
It's a bioluminescence.
A bioluminescent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Like
Would that be...
plankton has.
Plankton has. And do you know some minerals...
That glow in the dark?
That absolutely fluoresce.
Uranium.
But there's a whole variety of phosphorescent and fluorescent and luminescent minerals. So
That's
The
another show?
reason I mention that is that that's a characteristic of living things, you know.
Oh,
So
that's nice, Bill.
So this is interesting. What do we have over here?
I don't know. We'll find out if we live long enough. I think that is one of the agaricus.
Agaricus.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I say agaricus? I mean amanita. Excuse me.
Amanita.
Yes, amanita.
Amanita.
You can tell because it has little spots on the top. Sometimes you'll see red
Okay.
amanitas.
Mm-hmm.
This one looks sort of, see the little bumps right here? They're kind of white.
I do.
Yeah, that's where it broke out of its little
I do.
shell.
It's really impressive the force that these mushrooms apply to the ground that's overlying it. You know, you can see this piece of ground that's just been pushed right up.
They'll come up through concrete if
Yeah.
they had a mind to do it.
Yeah.
And hot top it. Mushrooms are wonderful as far as cleaning up hazardous waste. They'll clean up toxic spills of nuclear spills. They'll clean up oil spills. It will take the contaminant out of the soil into the mushroom, but then you have to dispose of the mushroom.
Yeah. Okay, Marie, here we are. There's a fallen white birch.
Yeah.
And it looks loaded with something. What do we have here?
Yes, these are called birch polypore, for lack of a Latin term.
Okay. Are they unique to birch trees?
Yes, these are particularly. If you'll recall, there was a man that they found in the bog somewhere in the world, Ireland, and he had a little
Satchel?
yeah, a little pouch.
Yeah.
And in that, they found this particular polypore. Yeah, it's good for, it's medicinal. It'll help to stop bleeding, and you can make tea with it.
I see.
If you know what, you know.
If you know what you're doing, if you're an expert and you know what you're doing.
It's bitter. It's nothing that you'd ever want to ingest. It doesn't have not all mushrooms are edible. You could make a tea with them, or
Yeah.
a tincture, or there's all kinds of ways to get the medicinal properties out of these fungi.
What's a tincture?
A tincture is I've never made one myself, but it's have to do with a preservative like alcohol, and it's a concentrated. I don't know if it's boiled or how they extract it. If it's done by
Put it in like vodka or something.
Yeah, there's.
Herbs.
Yeah, and there's ways to just take a little bit of that when you're sick, or
I see.
I'm not necessarily sure that you do it with this type of mushroom, but yeah, this is a nice flush going on here.
Yeah, now what I notice here, that these are growing parallel to the ground.
Well, if you look at
But if the tree was upright
Right.
and they were growing on that, they would still be parallel to the ground, correct?
right, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So that would tell us, doing a little detective work, that these mushrooms grew in place parallel to the ground. So this log was down when they grew.
I don't know.
Well, I would
They
think
might have.
because they're,
Unless they turned.
well,
I don't know. But
I
they've
s-
been there a long time.
they've been there a
And
while.
so has this log. Yeah. But mushrooms, fungus does take down trees. It
Okay.
will, if you see a tree with a mushroom on it, like anywhere else, there's some decay happening. And if it's been wounded, if a tree limb has been broken by the weather, or if someone cut it, that's exposed to the weather. And so when spores are flying around, sorry.
Spores are flying.
When spores are flying around, and they find a good place to land.
Spores come out of pores.
Right.
Okay. These feel fairly firm. They're
Try that one.
this one here.
Yes. feel how fresh it is?
Yeah, this,
It's pliable.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's growing. You can see that one is actively growing. This one right here. See how white it is?
Yes.
As opposed to these old things. And even this one.
Oh, yeah, but underneath here, there's something growing.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. Okay. Well, this makes a beautiful forest scene.
Yes, it does.
So we're going to leave this here and continue on. What do we have here, Marie? Do you think?
Well, you can see here where these are exploding through. See that? Those are some more of those polypores. This is another type of polypore. I just don't know.
This has that that shading that almost looks like a turkey tail, but I know a lot of mushrooms look like a turkey tail, but you see that characteristic. This is fairly hard.
Yeah, dry, old.
Yeah, hard and dry.
And it's old.
Old, and it goes up the whole length.
Yeah, been here a while.
Yeah. Okay, Marie.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Another one. Here's a nice little red one.
And what are some characteristics of this?
This has gills.
It has gills.
It has a red color on the top and it's white on the bottom.
Okay. It does have gills. I can see it from here.
This is called it's a Russula. It's of the Russula family. Russula.
Russula.
Yes.
Okay.
The Europeans love these.
From the standpoint of eating them?
Yeah, eating
I
them.
see.
But there's different kinds of russulas, so you have to make sure you're identifying properly.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, again, not all mushrooms have incredible flavor.
Yeah.
Just because they're edible doesn't mean they're worth picking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The color is striking. It adds to our fall color.
It does. Isn't it lovely?
Okay.
Yeah.
For this edition of Your Backyard, I want to thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.